To begin for presentation, let's look at cleaning up our Dynamo sheet so that it's a little more legible, especially if somebody else was to want to work on our file now. So I'm just going to delete anything that isn't actually being used. You notice I've grouped this one for the mirror plane. We could grab this group here and we'll call it the NURBS curve, or the roof curve. And I'll pull this down just to get it out of the way here. Actually, we might want to create, let me undo this. Let me see if I can ungroup this. I'm going to ungroup. I want to grab all of this. Whoops. We can grab these, and actually these here, right? I'm going to actually pull the ribs out though. The ribs is in, we don't need that in there. I want to grab this. This is the two basic structures. So I'm going to create a group and call this basin mid structure. And I'm keeping this over here so that we all have our variables, but we could go and grab this and group it and call that the number of ribs. Okay, so here we've got our, well, we can move our family way back over to where our adaptive component is. And this will be our mirror. There's a little bit more to it than that, but we'll call this mirror geometry. And this is a whole group that can actually hang together. I'm just trying to drag it all in so it's a little bit tighter. And we'll grab all of these. Actually, this part too. I'm not getting it in, so I gotta move over. Flatten ribs. We'll go for dimensioning. Okay, I got this one little one hanging out, but that's not really, so I'm just trying to tighten up this code so that if you went back and looked at this sometime in the future, you could kind of decipher it. And I'm going to go through and grab these up. Hold on. I don't know how I did that. Add adaptive component. Okay, so now one of the things I want to go back and actually do is start turning some of this stuff off. I'm going to take the previews off of a lot of these elements so they actually start to disappear, because they're they're printing through to Revit, and that's a little bit annoying. So we can go ahead and just, all of these can be turned off. There might be a global way to do this, I'm not sure. I don't know if I hit this. Nope. I don't know what I just hit. I don't want to freeze it. But I do want to take the preview off of it. There we go. We've gotten rid of those lines. We've got to back over here, get rid of these. Anywhere we have and every time we do a list create, it reappears. All right, so we have a few straggling points showing up still, but otherwise we're pretty clean. So I'll leave that at that, just so you can see now that our geometry is much cleaner here. We have kind of an ugly looking adaptive rib, and this is where I hope you'll spend some time working on possibly a better component. And if you see, I've already got some in here, so I can just actually substitute mine in. So if I click down here and go way up on the list, I have one I've spent a little more time with. And it started to run that and put that in and delete the dimension, probably because I don't have the same line in there. Let's take a look now. So now I have a new component in. It's a little bit, but you'll notice some of the dimensions held. And I've got a couple of different things going on here. I've held back this point a little bit from the end or tip of the component. But this is as quick as just changing your componentry out, and now you have a whole new form. So I'm hoping you'll can spend a few minutes making a more unique adaptive profile than the one that we went through in the tutorial part. Okay, so now we know how to dimension it. We've cleaned up the presentation here. Let's go to rendering. I've got these rendered in wood, so they'll actually look pretty good. I think that's all right. So we'll shoot a few views of that. We'll get some top views for dimensioning, and we'll put together a sheet. Like I said, I was going to jump right to the presentation sheet, but I realized I needed to go through a few more steps here before I was ready. So we'll do that next.